I have not done a video on or with World from Ferg for a while, mainly because of lack of contact with him. I've mentioned him during the last live stream several times, but do not mistake this video as trying to reach out to him again. Based on all the content here, consider this as a burning of bridges once and for all. I've actually been pretty dumbfounded by Ferg recently due to one video he made titled Privatized Public Schools and Thomas Sowell Readings. I almost made a full video on him based on the first 6 minutes of an hour-and-a-half video just because of how pissed and shocked I was that Ferg had such a limited mental capacity for basic logic in regards to economics on this one subject, and I may still make that video because his claims in those 6 minutes are just so outlandish. So stupid. One sentence in particular had me stuck from him releasing it to this day because the sentence made so little sense that it took me weeks to try and understand it. I asked people I knew, left wing and right wing. I asked Arcean, I think, and neither of which had any response to indicate they knew what the midget in the hoodie was talking about. I'll probably release that video at a later date since as of scripting I am sick, as you might tell. Maybe with pneumonia, I don't know. So if by some miraculous chance I release this one in a period of 7 days after the release of the video we're responding to now, you'll know sooner what I am talking about. But this video right here, this pissed me off more than privatized public schools ever did, simply because of how damn ignorant Ferg is and how unwilling to look from both points of view he is in the video. He goes off of preconceived beliefs and assumes based on those beliefs in the worst case scenario. He doesn't once try to understand the position of the video he's responding to. He simply cusses at it and continues, using lazy arguments and, you guessed it, ignorance. So now that everyone is lost and doesn't know what the hell this sky blue screen is talking about with a sick voice, I'll jump straight to our source. Ferg did a video just yesterday as of scripting titled Olly is a disgusting piece of garbage. Now this isn't the first time Ferg's done a title like this, he also did one with Nightmare Fuel titled Nightmare Fuel is a dishonest superficial thinker. Well, we have all day assuming I don't die, so let's try finding out why Olly is a disgusting piece of garbage as Ferg says he is. I will be insulting Ferg himself in the video, simply because Ferg insults the third person with no reason whatsoever. Let's end the ties here, and respond to World from Ferg one last time.
Hi, I'm Olly, creator of Pop and Olly, an LGBT+ educational resource for children, parents, and teachers.
So he is the creator of an LGBT educational resource for children, parents, and teachers. There's room open for SJW activity, so let's continue.
Hi Olly, I'm Ferg.
Oh hi Ferg, long time no see. Glad this is something different than your usual economic videos, by the way. Funny thing, I thought economics was the only thing you cared about now.
And I have a bone to pick with you. You might recall you had a little kerfuffle with my friend, Irate Bear.
Irate Bear? Damn, I forgot that guy existed. He's getting up there now, isn't he?
I'm not here to defend him. He doesn't need defended. I know his character. But the thing is, you spread lies. You spread that he was homophobic.
But Donald Trump also spreads lies. Is that okay for him?
And you try to tweet people like J.K. Rowling and Barack Obama, somebody to give you the sympathy card so you can take off and get famous.
We all know how active people can be on Twitter, so I tried searching for Olly's tweet. I went to Irate Bear's first response to Olly. However, even as he said he screenshotted the tweet and called Olly out on it, where was the link? Where was the tweet shown in the video? Nowhere. There was no link in the description at all, and there was no showing of the tweet in the video. So I had to do the dirty work of finding said tweet. It pisses me off not because I'm lazy, but because you're relying on the limited availability of evidence, which I will concede is not entirely your fault. I know this is the internet, but a prime example of this is when Merciful Death told people to search for tweets from Davi Vanity when I did my response video to her alongside Lucifer Scarlet. The video was made recently in relation to ours, and she was citing tweets from years before that. Who knows all the other tweets that could have been posted after that. And it still continues to this day, by the way. Now, I know this is a fairly recent event, the tweet being posted on February 14th, but imagine if someone a year into the future were to watch either this video or Irate Bear's response and question the validity of either. You're relying on evidence that would be rapidly buried by other unrelated posts. A way to avoid this would be to show the tweet or other evidence in a video. I'm doing it right now. It isn't hard. And guess what? The video is now unavailable. Likely because they reported it. So from this tweet that I found, I am now leaning a little on Teddy's side, because surely the channel is not all hate. Generalization is almost always in terrible use, unless it comes to Ferg and immigrants. Let's continue.
Well, here, I'm just gonna hand you that sympathy card. You think that was hate speech? Irate Bear's criticism? I'm about to show you hate speech, you fucking pussy.
Well, it's great that Ferg is descending to whatever level his opponent accused Irate Bear of being. Let's get ready, people, because this unneeded language lasts for quite a while. Until the end of the video, and it proves no points.
And this isn't coming in his defense. This is all from me. He has nothing to fucking do with this.
So there you go. If you have anyone to hate, hate Ferg himself.
But your little bitch ass is about to get fucking wrecked.
Said every COD player ever. You think you're being badass by throwing the words fuck and bitch around, but it's more effective if you do not overuse it like every freshman in high school does. You're trying to convey anger. Convey it smartly.
Because I hate it when good people get shit on by pieces of shit like you.
Hold on. So, assuming you know Irate Bear as a person, what exactly is good about him apart from civility? Just a question. Also, how is it propaganda if Olly simply stated that he set up an LGBT learning resource to quote,
combat things like homophobia and discrimination before they can even begin?
Now, I'm not taking his word for it, but that does not sound like kill all the straights for me. It doesn't sound like anyone who criticizes the behavior of our community is a bigot to me. It sounds like teach kids not to be homophobic. I don't hear anything wrong with that statement, unless you prefer kids to have the potential to develop homophobic mindsets either by themselves or by their parents. But you're not a total piece of garbage, so I don't really believe you'd support that.
That are spreading propaganda to little kids that don't even know what sex is yet.
Oh, I almost forgot. Give some proof, please, that this is propaganda and how he is regularly an awful human being. I'd assume this is all the I'll show you hate speech statement you made earlier, but given the title, I'm inclined to believe this is your genuine opinion and reaction to the person. And that's not a good thing.
You son of a bitch. You are an awful fucking human, and I hope this video gets to you, and I hope you cry yourself to sleep at night. Let's fucking continue.
So after that bout of immature use of slang by a 20 going on 14-year-old, not one mention of the dreaded F word was made. Yeah, guys, you know what I mean. Fidget. Wait, no, it was forgot. No, wait, it was ferret. No, wait, it was fillet. No, wait, it was...
And we are funding so that we can continue our work, but also so that we can do some live shows and go into primary and junior schools to combat things like homophobia and discrimination before they can even begin.
Again from his words, and let me set my stance for the rest of this video, unless I say otherwise, I'm not taking this guy's word for it. This does not sound bad.
Before I get started with this waste of sack, I want to reiterate one more time. This is just me. In fact, if I were to bring this to Irate Bear's attention and say I was going to do something like this, he would vehemently disagree with me and tell me not to do it. That's why I'm not asking him, and this is my fucking channel, so I'm going to do what I want.
And mine is my own too, so if I hurt your feelings here, well then, that's 2 parties this month who've gotten butthurt.
Anyways, this fucking shit stain wants to spread his message of teaching kids about stuff that they aren't even ready to know about.
Ferg, I get where you're coming from, but see, the point Olly was making is that they're aiming to combat homophobia before it begins. If it were me, I'd rather it be that than having to fight it as it's set in first. Again, what's so wrong with teaching that it's okay for boys to like boys or girls to like girls? If you had any remote proof that it was propaganda aimed towards a negative cause, then I'd agree. But you take a stance that kids are too young to learn this. Well, they're not too young to learn basic math, reading, writing, etc. They're not too young to learn the framework of right from wrong, and that last one appears to be what this program is based off of. Ollie's program works off of that base morality already taught, and says homosexuals are just like you and me. Now for the T part, I understand if you think that kids are taught about the complex issue of transgenderism at an early age, this might screw things up, and I agree with you, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't be taught something just because it might harm them.
They have a developing brain, and the stuff you're teaching them to quote-unquote try to prevent homophobia before it even happens can skewer their worldview.
Can skewer, not will, it can. Nice wording.
At the expense of the rest of their lives. If they have this worldview where this is what they learn before other things, we have a problem, you fucking pussy.
So let me get this straight. If kids learn that homophobia is bad before learning 2 plus 2, this is a problem? Ferg, you do know that those two things are separate, right? It's learning about how society and humanity works. Why should we not teach kids that hate is a negative power early on? Kids can hate all they want, but it doesn't change the fact that it's wrong. There is no good way to hate a whole community. You can hate Hitler all you want. You can hate Obama all you want. You can hate Hillary, Trump, Kim Jong. You can hate Queen Elizabeth, but there is no acceptable reason for hate speech against a community such as the LGBT community, or the black race, or Hispanics, or Asians, or earthworms even. I would specify everything that falls under, but you'd bring up the, oh, so we can't hate Muslims even though they kill people regularly argument? And my answer to that would be, get your head out of your ass and stop, because you're clearly as low as Ollie perceives Irate Bear to be. And the last thing we need is an idiot who fights tooth and nail to keep society's prejudices alive.
Now, since you're just a fucking shill trying to make money, trying to get famous, all while trying to fucking virtue signal.
So, you've been tossing around virtue signaling for the past few months, and here's my response. Is it really virtue signaling to act in a way that, I don't know, is the right way? Sure, calling on people to report Irate Bear's video because it showed criticism is very stupid, but why do you jump to the conclusion by saying that it's to further his own good image? I'm responding to you right now, fighting a good portion of what you're saying. I've responded to you in the past about the Great Wall of Trump. I've responded to Charlie Rant King about his racist and sexist tweet, and I've responded to Arcean about transgenderism. Twice. Now tell me, is all of that just virtue signaling? Because virtue signaling and using actual facts and taking positions to debate a topic are two different things. And for the third time, where is evidence, Ferg? I already have a tweet, and that is good, but where else is he virtue signaling? Tell me that. Where else does it prove that he is a disgusting piece of garbage? Tell me that.
I actually think you're half autistic, and I'm gonna start with these fucking insults because you already crossed the line with me.
Great. Back onto the stupid train again. Chew fucking chew.
I don't give people the benefit of the, well, I give them the benefit of the doubt, but you already shit that down the toilet.
This is your first video on him. Where prior did you give him benefit of the doubt? Man, there's more holes here in your video than there are in the plot of Battlefield Earth.
So let's just continue this video now that that's out of the way. It's all me, and nothing to do with Irate Bear, but I'm going to go ahead and call something. If you do get a hold of this video, you will still try to manipulate it and conflate his arguments with mine.
I'm glad I made the choice of leaving Irate Bear out of this then. So, Ferg, what other hate speech do you have for us?
We try to make our work as fun and colourful as possible while still being age appropriate, but at its heart it has this really important message about diversity and equality.
I've been into primary schools and seen my book Prince Henry being used, and it's awesome because the kids aren't afraid to ask questions. They're not afraid to ask, oh, so can two guys get married? And we're like, yeah. And they're like, ah, cool. And it's really sweet because they just sail past it. They want to know how old the characters are, they want to know how many crowns that the king has, and it's really sweet to know that they're so accepting and non-judgmental.
Well, that sounds sweet. How will Ferg shit on it?
You are indoctrinating kids.
How the fuck? Ferg, this pisses me off more than your public school video. I'll say, for you to blatantly refuse to acknowledge the good intent and skip straight to...
You are indoctrinating kids.
Ferg, I've never said this to you before, but God, what an ignorant piece of shit you're being. No, it's not telling them to be gay, it's telling them it's alright to be gay. For the umpteenth time, what is wrong with that?
With who certain people decide to have sex with. That is what it comes down to, and that is what you are doing. No amount of justification coming out of your prissy little mouth would make it okay to indoctrinate kids like that psycho bitch does over at Queer Kid Stuff.
Ferg, shut up. Indoctrination has to be the laziest argument you could think of. Oh, they're teaching kids things. Indoctrination.
You know what kids need to learn? Math, reading, writing, etc.
And what makes you think that this replaces all those subjects? What, in your tiny ass brain, makes you think that schools are suddenly willing to cast aside those core subjects in favor of learning that it's wrong to hate?
They do not need to learn it with a dash of homosexuality with your books. Why?
Oh, with a dash of homosexuality, sure. I'm starting to get the feeling Ferg uses a dash of bath salts with his cornflakes once a week to warrant the knee-jerk reaction he has to this.
Reason number 1, you fuckface priss bitch, is because that should be the parents' responsibility, not the state.
Oh, sure. Rely on the parents, because everyone knows the parents all agree that homophobia is wrong and that homosexuality is accepted. Every parent in the country.
Maybe their parents don't want them to have fucking sex ed at 5 years old.
This isn't sex ed, Ferg. If it was, it'd be flacked up, I agree, but all sources point to the contrary. This is not sex ed, it's society ed at best. It's teaching You know what? You haven't listened to Olly without insulting him at every turn. So what makes me think you'll just turn around and blindly disregard my points as prissy and SJW, I wonder?
Reason number 2, you should have been abortion.
Ferg, you need help. You need some serious fucking help. This isn't trying to wreck Olly's argument, this is simple bullying. I don't know what clicked in your head to make you think that it was alright to just abandon all reason and become one of the hateful assholes people like Olly try to fight, but you know what? I've made my decision. As of writing this, I have reported your video to Olly. No, I didn't report it to YouTube. I sent it to Olly himself. I'm not keeping anonymity here because I want to make one thing clear. I'm not doing this to virtue signal. I'm doing this because you went overboard. I'm doing this because you're clearly past the point of no return on this issue and you need to just rethink what it is you're about. Because this...
You think that was hate speech? Irate bears criticism? I'm about to show you hate speech, you fucking pussy. I hate it when good people get shit on by pieces of shit like you son of a bitch. You are an awful fucking human, and I hope this video gets to you, and I hope you cry yourself to sleep at night. Anyways, this fucking shit stain. We have a problem, you fucking pussy. No amount of justification coming out of your prissy little mouth would make it okay to indoctrinate kids like that psycho bitch does over at Queer Kid Stuff. Reason number 1, you fuckface priss bitch. Reason number 2, you should have been abortion.
This just isn't acceptable, by any means. I'm sorry if this leads to any termination of your channel, and I will fully accept the fallout from this choice I have made even if you stay on YouTube, even if it means my own channel going out with you. But I'm doing this to teach you a lesson that says don't stoop to the level of the monsters we fight. No amount of deflection or I meant to say this will change what you said here. And if you try to disprove your own hate speech, remember this. I have your video downloaded, and it will be mirrored. Continuing from here.
Homosexuality is not the norm. This isn't to say it's bad, but it's not the norm. Raising kids to think that it is giving them a false worldview.
Why shouldn't it be the norm alongside heterosexuality? Why shouldn't homosexuality be regarded as normal just as heterosexuality is? What is this false worldview that you claim the kids will have?
Reason number 3, you furry promoting child propagandizing ugly worthless fucking human. It is because the current culture of the West is not giving a care in the world if someone is gay.
Bullshit, Ferg, bullshit. Current culture in the West is still dealing with discrimination based on homosexuality and transgenderism. Current culture in the West just dealt with the deadliest terrorist attack made by an American-born citizen against the gay community. Current culture in the West still has clashes to this day between skeptics, SJWs, religion, and the KKK over homosexuality. You think that this isn't a care in the world? Why do you bother answering Olly's video ardently claiming that homosexuality should not be the norm if you deem it as a subject that nobody cares about? Skipping ahead to the end now.
And that is all I have to say to this misfit of a human. And no, it wasn't anti-gay.
Well, you sure did a good job of implying it.
And no, it wasn't anti-trans.
Well, you didn't actually touch on that at all.
You are garbage. I hope your parents contemplate on the abomination of a human you are. Seriously, under the disguise of virtue and justice, you could have potentially ruined a great person's life, and I will never, ever forget this.
No, Ferg, you won't.